I'm gonna let you laugh. Go ahead.
Dang,
Go ahead. It looks good for the camera. And welcome back to Authentic Alphas. It's your boy Ayinde. Unfortunately, y'all can't see my handsome mug because I'm behind the camera today. But I got 3 lovely ladies in the house, so y'all gonna have to focus on them while listening to my sexy voice. Okay, let's start off in the side. Give us your name, your age, and where you from, girl.
Hello, guys. I am Miss Manassa. I am 40 years old. I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida. And I am a life coach. I do life coaching with mindfulness and relationships. And I also have a master's in social work. And I also am a suicide prevention specialist.
Okay, stop the cap. Did she say she was 40?
I am 40.
Okay, the jury's out on that one. I don't believe it. But then again, I'm 40, so it's possible. That's that black don't crack. Okay, let's get right here in the middle. All right, listen, you looking on Nubia. You looking like you was in Wakanda. Let's get your name, your age, and where you from, girl?
Hi, I'm Alexa. I'm 32. And I'm from Miami. I'm a business consultant. I work with different providers, doctors, and different types of businesses. I do medical marijuana cards. So if you need one,
real talk.
Click the link in my bio. No, seriously, I do.
That's what I'm saying. I need one too.
Like, we're really heavy into cannabis, alternative treatments, weight loss. So if you got your body done and want to keep it done, hit me up.
Wait, are you confessing you got your body done?
No, I said if.
Oh, because I'm about to say, I thought you was all natural.
Your body done and you want to keep it done, hit me up. I'm talking to the ladies as well.
Okay, let's hit the far left real quick.
Alrighty, guys. My name is Lauren. I'm 22. I'm from Honduras, and I go to school for medical assisting.
Nice. Okay, ladies, so today I want to kind of flip it. I want to ask the ladies kind of questions about what they want to ask men. So I know you guys have a lot of questions for guys. You're not getting answers. Y'all talk amongst yourselves with wine and, you know, you theorize on the answers to those questions. So today I want to try to answer some of those questions. So who want to go first? You got the mic, so I think you need to go
I'll
first.
go first. I want to know, question. Why are men so afraid of alpha females? Boss chicks, girls that are, doing their thing, running businesses, holding their own. That's my question. And it's not that we don't want a man to be that man, but we want to also secure a bag too. So why are you guys so afraid of alpha females?
All right, so I'm gonna jump into it because when they be like something, oh, he's a homophobe or whatever, it's like, okay, that is a phobia. That means you're afraid of something. So somebody that has issues or doesn't align with, say, the homosexual community, that doesn't mean they're afraid of it, right? So I'm using that example because we often do the same thing with that. If someone doesn't agree with that and they avoid it, that's not their lifestyle choice or whatever, that's not their in-group, they say, oh, you're homophobic. That's not the right word. It doesn't fit because he's not afraid of it. He's just not interested in it. It doesn't serve him. So when we talk about independent women or boss chicks or chicks that are leveling up, whatever they're doing, right? Guys avoid that not because they're afraid of it, but because it doesn't serve them. Because if he's working, however many hours he's working, he's busy, he's trying to level up. When he's done with that, he wants to come home, he wants to, come to a place where it's gonna be his castle, his domain, you know what I mean? He wants to have that peace, he wants to have that woman waiting on him, and that sounds degrading to women nowadays, but that actually should be an honor. That should be glorious to be your man's peace, to be his, part of his kingdom, right? When he comes home. Now, how can that woman provide that when she herself is out grinding, competing in the business world? So when she comes home, she's tired. She wants to depress, she wants to relax, she wants to settle in, right? She doesn't want to wait on a man. She doesn't want to take off his shoes. She doesn't want to take his coat off, his business jacket and hang it up and give him a hug and a kiss and say, listen, dinner will be ready in 5 or 10 minutes, go wash up. That dynamic is not there, right? So what happens is it becomes useless to him because it's like he's literally dating another dude who's going to feel the exact same the way he feels. So the problem is women are looking at it from their perspective. They're not looking at it from the guy's perspective. And then they're going to say, oh, well, why does he want to be with this young Tatiana that has nothing going on for her? Well, hold on. That's extremely attractive to a man, a woman that has nothing going on, because that means he's what's going on. She's literally waiting on him. You get what I'm trying to say?
I understand. So men prefer a woman to just be home waiting on them and nothing going on.
Yeah, but can you not see how that would be what a man would want, though?
I'm just trying to make sure that's what I conveyed you. Okay.
Yeah, but but the thing is, I don't want you to misconstrue it with being afraid or being intimidated by it. And I don't think that's something that women genuinely came up with on their own. I think that's something that some talk show host said, and they said, you know what? That's what it is. I like the sound of that, because it means that I'm not the problem. It means that he's the problem. Yeah, you can't handle me. And that also falls into the same category, because there's a difference between can't handle and doesn't want to handle.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So men just want traditional women, home, cooking, cleaning.
You know, we always try to put labels on things. You know, this dude's alpha, this dude's beta. What you're trying to do is just trying to put a bunch of characteristics into a box to make it easier for you to carry that box. Because that way it's not miscellaneous characteristics all over the place. So when you say traditional, you're really just trying to put these characteristics of a relationship in a box. Do you really think in his head he's saying traditional is what I want? No, he's saying I want these things, and when they had it was a long time ago, so I guess it falls into traditional. But why wouldn't you want that at any time in history? It could be 100 years ago, it could be 100 years from now. What a man wants from a woman isn't going to change much.
But you don't think in today's age, we're in 2022, right? That a woman wouldn't want to work or help provide for their household or want to do something in terms of, because I think that's like closed-minded, when a woman is just sitting home and they're just doing the same thing every day, and they don't get to think outside the box or do nothing different or get stimulated mentally, because they're doing the same thing over and over and over. Like, you cook, you clean, do laundry, you make sure everything's in order for your household and for your man, and that's where it stops.
But I think there's a huge range of freedom and creativity within that, because how one woman runs her house ain't gonna be the same as how another woman runs her house.
Not.
How one woman put her little personal twist on the recipes and so on and so forth, that's gonna be her art. That's how she does it. How she socializes her children, how she interacts with her neighbors, how she does her little book club with the other mothers, how they plan their play dates. I don't think that being a housewife is as boring as we've been told it is. I think there's a lot of satisfaction in it. There's a lot to do, and they keep hella busy if you got kids. If you got kids and you got friends that got kids and you got your sister, you got your nieces and nephews, I think there's a lot going on with that. And for a woman to plan, say, Thanksgiving dinner, or for her to plan a 3-year-old's birthday party, I feel like there's a lot to do within that. They have a lot of errands to do. I got to go do this. I got to get the cars. I got to get the balloons. Come on. And women take joy in that.
Realistically, that's only one time a year. Thanksgiving come one time a year.
No, what I'm saying is there's all kind of occasions to do that. A woman is looking for occasions to get her friends and families together, right? So it makes sense that she would want a man that could finance that. She wants a man that can go out and get the nice stroller, that can afford to send all the party favors and all the gifts and all that kind of stuff, so that she can express her generosity and her love for these friends and families. But that budget got to be there, though.
That budget definitely had to be there. But realistically, how many men that you meet, right, realistically, that's making that type of money? Well, that's inflation.
So now we're talking about something completely different. That's not a human issue. That's the way our societies are being ran, and the value of where the dollar is, and the fact that it's taking 2 incomes now for the average household to maintain.
So let's be realistic. Right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can still be realistic if you're willing to budget, because women will say, "Oh, I need a dude that makes $100K because I want this lifestyle." Well, that right there is the problem. That you're not willing to drive the Honda Civic instead of the Jaguar or the Volvo or whatever. So that comes into play now. You know what I mean? What lifestyle are you willing to accept? And I think a lot of women, they're addicted to luxury, because the way it's marketed and advertised to us nowadays, if you don't got somewhere, above average, upper tier, then it's like you're in poverty. And it's like, no, you are not in poverty. If you got a Honda and it got gas in it, you understand, you're paying your insurance on time.
Yeah,
and you got a bedroom. If you got 2 boys and they're sharing a bedroom, what's the problem? You see what I mean? So I think we want a little bit more than what's necessary to have a happy home. And that's when it starts to fall into the very small percentage of men that could provide that alone. But I'm personally not a fan of the woman working, especially not when children are in the equation. And if anything, I think nowadays, there is more opportunity for women to work from home. So if you could do some type of part-time thing where you're doing 10, 15 hours a week from home and the rest of the time is for your family, I think that's awesome. So, hold on. Who wants to go next? Or we can go in the same order. Because I know you, I know your question's off the top of the head. What are you gonna tell me?
I just want to know why.
Pass the mic.
Okay, just from experience, right? I would like to know, why are men who are so selfish with their, I'm just gonna call it love, expected so openly and easily from women?
I don't think I understand the question.
Think about it.
I don't understand the question though.
Think about it. Like, for example, you want a woman to do this, to do that, to show you certain types of affection, to basically show you that she loves you, pretty much, in, you know, whatever type of language, whether it's doing this, taking care of the kids, accepting you, accepting your foolishness, her own, working on her stuff, just generally, right? A lot of men won't openly show
their affection? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. But they want the woman to just come out pouring affection all over them.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean publicly or something?
In a relationship, for example. Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
I mean, I guess that's a good question, but I think that just comes back to how they were raised.
Just even expectations, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to come off the wrong way, but like, who are you to deserve A, B, C, D? I feel like
you're a man. That's who he is.
No, but what if the man is not a man yet? What if he's still practicing to be a man?
How can he be practicing to be a man?
Well, okay, my definition of a man, for example, just one basic thing: you have to be able to keep your word. To me, you're not a man if you can't keep your word. So just with that alone, a lot of men can't keep their word. And so
they can't. They just don't understand the value of it.
I'm giving a simple, like, basic example of, you know, something that may happen, or something that a lot of men do but probably think is nothing, right? So you expect a woman to be honest and this and that, but a lot of men aren't honest and don't share and don't communicate correctly, but they want the woman to do these things. So why do
I think maybe men do communicate, but maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe you're not speaking the same language. So I think they are communicating. But back to what you were saying earlier about honesty and keeping your word and things like that. I don't think those are traits that you pick up from your mother, from females. I think that those are exclusively instilled in young boys by their fathers or other men in their lives. And that's who kind of, implants the importance and the magnitude of that from when you're young. And I'm sorry, but women don't relate to that way. And they're not supposed to. Women aren't supposed to feel like no matter what, I have to keep my word. No matter how much of an inconvenience it is to me right now, no matter how many things have changed, I have to keep my word because I said it. But
well, I guess what I'm trying to say is a lot of men lack character in different things.
But I'm telling you where that comes. I'm telling you where that comes from.
Okay.
This is not something that comes from your teen years. This is not something that comes in your 20s and your 30s. This is something that comes when you were 10 and below. When a man in your life is pulling you to the side and he is giving you the importance of these characteristics. He's teaching you that your word,
a man talking to another man.
To a boy.
Okay.
Your word is your bond. Your reputation is everything. If you tell me you're gonna do something and you don't do it, you just lost all credibility with me. And we're not even looking for those values in each other anymore as men, and that's important. Look how many guys have friends, but they ain't real friends because they ain't real men, they ain't real dudes. But how come they're not? Because they weren't taught that code, right? And the importance of that. So the moment a dude say he gonna do something, he don't do nothing, that ain't my dude no more. Like, I don't take that person seriously anymore. Yeah. But it's subtle. He doesn't realize it because he wasn't taught that. But me, I'm already like checking him off the list. Like, you're just a male. you're not a man. You see what I'm trying to say? Nowadays, snitching is like a matter of convenience. Like, oh no, but what happened was I can't do this time because this, and that. It's like, whoa, that ain't got shit to do with shit. There was dudes that was doing double-digit numbers, and they had families, they had kids and everything. But you don't snitch, because what if the chips that fell differently, and one of your co-defendants is the one that got caught, and you the one that got the family, he snitched. Now you got to go to prison, and you don't get to see your family. If I'm going off to war, I'm in the military, I need to be able to trust the man to the left of me and the man to the right of me. So the point I'm trying to make is we do not learn these things as men. And that's a mistake that women are making, because they're thinking, I like this dude, but he got these flaws and these issues, so I'm hoping he gonna change. I'm sorry, hon, that nigga ain't gonna change. If that nigga's a grown man, he ain't gonna change. And if he is, it's gonna be a hell of an intervention to get him to change, because those morals don't come later in life. They come from when he was a kid. You understand what I'm trying to say? He had to learn that from when he was a kid. So if you're expecting a man in his late 20s or his 30s to start keeping his word, good luck with that. He needed to be a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old to keep his word. He needed to be that 8-year-old boy that got caught stealing some candy, and it was like, who took the cookie? Tell me who took the cookie. I took the cookie.
So how do we fix this issue? Because my friends are telling me, I'm seeing it, there's a lot of men who are playing.
Ask the same question question I tell men to ask women is, what is the relationship with this person and their father? It's the exact same question. It goes both ways. I tell guys, don't even get that far into the relationship. Ask her, what was your relationship with your father? And a lot of times, that's going to tell you everything that you need to know.
Like me personally, when I see it, it doesn't get past like going on a date, for example. But I'm just saying it because I'm noticing it a lot. And so I'm saying it like, as a woman, we are...
That's what you have to pick from.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Foolishness.
You know why that's what
like,
why you have to pick from,
like,
right? How old are the dudes that you dating? How old are the dudes that you dating on average?
My dates, they're like 35.
Okay,
40.
so let's count.
They're like grown ass.
Okay,
women.
let's count 35 years ago.
You know
what was the single mother rate 35 years ago? What was the children born out of wedlock rate in that particular community 35 years ago? And that's your answer. Because if you tell me it was 72%, well, guess what? That means 72% of niggas that you gonna date in that age group gonna have them issues.
Isn't that horrible?
Well, this is a conversation that people were trying to have years ago, and nobody wanted to have that conversation.
Take some man classes, get your character together.
Well, that's what we're trying to do on this channel.
What? Yeah, I've been saying it, so maybe for women.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me just add one more thing before
go to therapy.
Before I get to Lauren, because see, this is the thing. You're saying it from your perspective, right? As a woman, like, I want this type of behavior. I want this type of character. I want to be able to trust this person. I want this person to be accountable, right? Here's the thing. You're thinking that man's supposed to be doing that for you.
You're just supposed to be like that.
Exactly. He's supposed to be doing that as who he is.
Yeah.
Other men need to be able to feel that he's loyal, he's honest, he's reliable, he's dependable. You get what I'm trying to say? He should be thinking in his head, right? What would Jesus do? Right? He should be thinking in his head, what would my father say? If he found out that this is how I handled this situation, right? What would my uncle think? What would my grandfather think? That's what should be going through his head. Not what my girl gonna do, and not what my girl gonna think. If my girl catch me, what gonna happen? No, he should be thinking, if the men in my family was to find out that this is how I dealt with this situation, or how I treated this female, what would they think of me?
So it sounds like men need to hold men more accountable?
No shit, but that can't happen if men ain't raising men. Okay, what you got for me, Lauren?
Well, one thing that I do have a question is, in my last relationship, I feel like, why do men take so long to sit there and to realize what they have?
That they got a good woman.
Yes.
That they have a good woman.
Why? Yes.
Would you be mad at me if I say the same damn answer I just gave her? It's the same damn answer. Because he didn't have strong male role models in his life to teach him what to look for in a woman. That's why a lot of these dudes don't know what to look for, they don't know how to recognize it, and they don't know how to treat it. I see dudes all the time, I be like, this motherfucker don't even know what he got. This nigga don't know what he got, he what the fuck this up? Because he don't know. So when you got these girls out here and they're making all these stupid decisions and they're doing anything for this bad boy, for this Tyrone or this Chad or whatever, imagine if he used his influence for good. No, I'm being for real. If a pimp can get a girl to go sell her body and give him all her money, imagine if he did something positive with that influence.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So you have these women that are willing to do these things for these guys. They like them so much. They're so attracted to these guys. And these guys are leading them into destruction. And then once they get there, guess what? Chaos is their life now. So now when they break up with that dude, it's traumatic, chaotic, toxic relationship after toxic relationship. It's now the pattern is set, right? And now the women care less and less every time around because they're like, you know what? I done jumped out the box for this dude, and this is what happened. And now her self-esteem is lower, her value is lower, and now she feels like this is normal behavior for her. You get what I mean?
Right.
Because she took that leap of faith for the wrong dude. Right, and he could have been the right dude if he just made better decisions. Because when you're in a position of leadership, there's a lot of pressure on you. And whether women want to admit it or not, when they're with a man, they want to be led. They struggle to pronounce those words and let it come out their mouth and out their lips. But if you want a man to be more integral than you, to be more reliable than you, more honest than you, more level-headed than you, you see what I'm saying? You want him to have control over his emotions. You want him to have all these traits. Let's be honest, you yourself don't necessarily have those traits. So you want to be led by someone that is going to do a better job than you, and there's safety within that. Because if this motherfucker has character, now you can relax, take a deep breath and say, I trust you. Lead the way, nigga. Lead us to some breakfast. I trust you.
Then you could just be a girl.
That's what I'm trying to say. Now you get to fall back into your feminine because you are trusting a dude that he gonna make the right decisions, that he gonna do what's best for you. You get what I'm trying to say? Unfortunately, these fuckboys out here, that's not what they doing, right? But they don't even know what that looks like. You can't get mad at people for struggling through marriage when their parents and their grandparents wasn't married. Where would they get this example from? And when they fall on hard times, who is gonna console them? Who is gonna give them that advice? Who gonna be the glue that's gonna keep them together when they going through it? Nobody. So what they're gonna get is a bunch of people their age and a little bit older say, girl, just leave him. Girl, just leave, you can do better, just leave him. Relationship down the drain, right? However many years you put into that, it's a fucking waste now. And then you gonna bounce around looking for something else, think it's gonna be better, and guess what? That other person, he gonna fall in that right 72% that I was telling you about. They coming from the same type of background and development, so you're gonna deal with the same dumb shit all over again. And you're gonna come up unsatisfied. All right, next question. We'll go right back over here to you.
Next question. Well, the question I had, I think it's gonna fall back into the same category. I mean, a lot of guys that's like afraid of commitment, just wanting to settle down and just be committed to that one person.
Okay, well, I think we're using the word afraid incorrectly again. I don't think they're afraid of commitment. I think they don't see the value in it.
Okay, so they don't see the value in commitment. So why guys don't see the value in commitment?
Because of what I was just explaining. You'll sit there and you'll invest so much into a relationship, time, money, effort, your exclusivity, and then the next thing you know, this girl say, you know what, I'm done. And then you're like, what, dub? Look at how much I passed up on, right? Look at how much I put in, right? How much I dealt with, how much building I tried to do, and now I'm back at square one. So a lot of guys, they feel like there's no guarantee that it's gonna go well, and when it starts to go poorly, the woman can just up and leave at any time. So if it was like a business investment, I'm gonna be honest with you, if modern relationships were business investments, there is no financial advisor that'd be like, yeah, do that. Everyone would be like, nah, sell now, pull out now, sell now, sell all those stocks, get rid of that. You see what I'm trying to say? And that's just real shit. That's real talk. If you were to look at it with no emotion, level-headed, like it was business, like it was money, wouldn't nobody invest in this modern relationship shit? They'd be like, oh, hell no. At any moment, she could swipe right on Tinder. At any moment, this could happen. Like, your money is not safe, brother. You're wishing on a star.
So a lot of guys don't see the value in commitment.
Is there really any value in commitment nowadays?
There is value in commitment.
I know. Everybody I talk to seems pretty damn selfish. Every chick is like, I'm living my best life. I'm trying to do my thing. I want to be free. I'm not going to lock myself down. I'm not going to commit to a woman. I'm like, oh, shit, well, damn. If that's the mindset, you're acting like, dude, it would be so lucky for you to claim him. That's terrifying for a guy. That's terrifying for a guy because you guys are making an emotional investment. Guys are making an everything investment. Y'all invest in time and emotion. You see what I mean? Y'all age differently than we do. So your time is more precious than ours is in a relationship. And then your feelings mean everything to you. So your emotional investment seems like a lot. Whereas a guy, he could go through it in a relationship, but when he out of that, he like, shit, I'm good. I'm out of that. I ain't stressing no more. I ain't gotta deal with this bitch no more. It's all good. I'm free. Women are still carrying that emotional baggage with them from every previous relationship. Period. Facts. They carry that, right? So it's a little bit different. And as the time thing goes, guys actually come out of that usually more valuable time-wise. Because think about it, it's like, oh, I was in this relationship and maybe it didn't work out. I was there for 5 or 6 years, but you know what? For 5 or 6 years, I wasn't really partying like that. I wasn't out here running around chasing other women. I wasn't running around here dating other women. So it's like, yeah, I spent some money on some bills, but technically speaking, as long as I was leveling up in that span of time, when we broke up, shit came out this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Beard a little thicker, got little grays in it or whatever. My portfolio looking a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? I got some money in the bank and all like that. I got a promotion at work. So he come out of that a little bit more valuable, time-wise, right? Where the woman is taking a hit time-wise. Because now she's been off the market for that period of time. Now she get back on, it's like, oh, I gotta compete with these little young girls now. You see what I'm trying to say? So a lot of women experience that after a breakup from a long-term relationship or a divorce. They'll get with somebody faster than their ex. But when their ex finally does get into another relationship, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be a younger woman. 9 times out of 10. You see what I'm trying to say? And she gonna be pissed. When she see that, she gonna be like, fuck him, he robbing the cradle. He ain't robbing the cradle. I think he ain't robbing the cradle, he just pick it up right where he left off.
I understand your perspective. However, I feel like it goes 2 ways because a lot of times too, I feel like it's a perspective with jumping out of a relationship or divorce. I wasn't so quick to jump into another one because I wanted time for myself to self-reflect, to think about what transpired in my last relationship to get me together, because I did not want to bring baggage or any other issues from the last relationship into other relationship. So I feel like that's a case-by-case type of a thing because, you know, I wasn't so, oh my God, I'm out of this relationship, now I'm ready for another one. I want to jump into another one. And I feel like, yes, a lot of women do make that mistake, going from one man to the next man to the next man and not taking time for themselves after a relationship. So, that, like I said, I think this is a case-by-case basis.
Okay, well, what I meant overall when I said that is it's the same as divorce. Mm-hmm. Yes, there's a lot of women making that mistake of divorce, but all women have that option. So yeah, there are a lot of women making the mistake of jumping into relationship after relationship, but at the end of the day, they all pretty much have that option. Mm-hmm. Because as a woman, if you're mildly attractive or more than that, there's a dude that will commit to you tomorrow. It won't be the dude you ideally want necessarily, but women always have options. Let's cut the bullshit. Women act like, oh, I want these guys to commit. It's like, it's not why I want men commit. It's why I want the particular type of men that you are interested in being with commit. Let's be realistic. Mm-hmm. Whereas guys, we don't have that option. We can't just snap our fingers and say, you, me, commitment now. It doesn't work like that. We can't do that with the sex or the commitment.
I wish I could.
Yeah, we couldn't, right? And there's a very small percentage of guys that can. The guys that can, very small percentage, right? And women are designed that way, biologically. That's just the way it is. Women are gonna want, somewhere in the top 20% of dudes. What's changed is that the perception of that top 20% of dudes being available. That's what the internet does. I'll give you an example that has nothing to do with women or dating, but like I used to be a sneakerhead. And back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, that was like an art to be a sneakerhead because you had to find those damn sneakers. Mm-hmm. There were people saving up their money to take flights to go buy sneakers that cost less than the travel expenses to go to where that exclusive sneaker was sold. Once the internet became a thing, you just order said sneakers. And then now what people will do is they'll buy the sneakers and then they'll resell them for a ridiculous price because they're scarce. So it ruined the whole sport. It ruined the whole, the whole community right? Because the whole point was the amount of effort that you were willing to put in, and it was the hunt, finding it, searching it, like that, being Christopher Columbus, Indiana Jones, to discover where that shoe is and being sold. And oh my God, it's in my size. I had to go across the country to get it in my size. Well, now some dickhead bought the last pair in your size and he wants to sell it to you for 4 times what he paid for it. So it's not the effort you're putting in, it's paying all that extra money, which just ruined the sentimental value for it, right? So that's kind of what's happening with the relationships with the women now. It's like they have this perception that, I can find them on Bumble, or I'll find them on Tinder, or I'll find them on LinkedIn, I'll find them on this, I'll find them on that. It's like the moment that you're thinking you're gonna find this dude involving the internet, you're wishing on a star. Because it's not that it can't happen, is that you over here talking about, oh, so-and-so from accounting met her husband on so-and-so.com. It's like, bitch, how many people work in accounting? How many women you know looking for a husband? So you telling us about the one chick in accounting that found him online, and you think that that's gonna work for you too? Let me give you a calculator. Let me show you how to do some percentages. Okay, out of all the chicks you know, okay, that means 6% of women are gonna get somewhat good results online dating. What makes you think you're gonna be in that 6%? So that's the problem that women are having. So they refuse to settle for the guys that are like actually there and realistically want to be with them, because they keep thinking, if I just swipe one more time, or if I just download one more app, or if I just respond to one more DM, I'm gonna find them, girl. All right, go ahead and do that for another 8 years. Do that for another 8 years. But the chick that said, you know what, I like this guy, I met him in person, he was introduced to me by people that I know, he was referred, you know what I mean? He wasn't perfect, but I said, you know what, I like him, it'll do, we'll work on it. What do you think they were doing in that last 8 years? They were building a relationship. They started building a family, right? But all these other chicks were still swiping. Oh, so they're addicted to it. It's like crack. Oh, it's like gambling. It's like dudes that go and gamble. Right, it's like dudes that go and gamble, right? Yeah, you could win. You could win. Oh man, did you hear so-and-so hit for, oh man, he hit for $1 million. Okay, well, how many people went to gamble that day? How many people went to gamble that day? But the only person you remember or can think of is that one dude that hit, Okay, what about the 9,000 people who went bankrupt, fucking around with that craps table? So somebody needs to, pull women to the side and say, listen, narrow it down to what the essentials are. What are the most important things that you want and need in a man? If you find a dude that has 70% of that, you might want to cash out. And you know who's going to have that conversation with her majority of the time? It's going to be her daddy. Her daddy going to be the one that's trying to tell her, tick, 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 when you going to get married? When you going to get married? And a lot of women tell me that. They're like, my father, every time I speak to my father, he wants to have the same conversation. Yeah, because your father's wise. He knows what happened to women that don't cash out. You see what I'm trying to say? He knows. And he also wants to know that you are taken care of. He wants part of that responsibility up off of him. He wants part of that worry up off him. He wants you to introduce him to a man that he's like, okay, thank you, son. Thank you, son. I can trust you with my daughter. Now she's your problem. Good luck. Okay, what you got for me?
Can you skip me?
I gotta skip you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, you're gonna come up with something in a minute. Lauren, don't tell me to skip you. Come on, man. The sativa make you creative. What you got for me? Tell me about your ex and why he's your ex.
You really want to know?
The people want to know, what did he do?
I couldn't take accountability. We both did each other wrong, so I feel like we both ruined the trust for each other. And like we would always talk on and off, and he would disappear like a month, 2 months, and then now he's back. He's like, Laura, let's be serious. Like I want to be with you, and I'm just like, but why? Like what took you so long? Like, and now why? Because now my interest isn't where it was anymore. Like it's not there. Yes, I still have love for you, but I feel like it's not what it used to be. I don't like fully feel like, yes, I want to be with you. Like let's go. And I don't know. I fil like, why did you wait so long? If you knew I was always here, you knew how I felt about you. You wait 2-3 months go by, and then now you really want to.
How old was this dude?
It's 26.
I mean, that could have a lot to do with it. 26, the world is very interesting to a young man.
Right.
So he's like, man, there's so much going on. There's so much out here. So that can be tough. Not every guy can really just buckle down and say, you know what, I got a good thing, that's it. You know what I mean? Plus, men have a part of them that wants to conquer, wants to hunt, wants to establish. They got, you know, we got that.
Like, respectfully, as a woman, like, we can submit to a man, but, like, the right man, not just the man that wants to, like, oh, I want my girl to do this, and that. Like, no, like, if you bring to the table what I'm looking for respectfully, you respect me, I respect you, then okay, yes, and, you know, I can submit to you, you're my man, you know, whatever, but I just feel like nowadays, I feel like a lot of men, they want that control, like, you know, or like that upper advantage, like, and I feel like that's not fair no more. Like, now dating or trying to look for people,
Right.
there's no more decent, genuine people that have the respect that, like, you would want, just genuinely, like, as a friend, like, you wouldn't want a friend of yours to get treated like that by a man or your sister, so why would you go out there and do that to the next girl?
Well, because they might not have learned better, right? So it's like if somebody had superpowers, right, but they didn't have a value system, what do you think what would happen? What would they become? They become a villain.
We need a
See what I'm saying?
superhero squad.
They become a super villain.
Can we have a superhero squad of alpha men to defeat those crooks?
Well, no, see, but that's what I'm saying, right?
Like-
So if you take Superman, for example, right? When he's Clark Kent, he's a square, he's a nerd. The chicks ain't paying him no mind, right? But he has some integrity, he has morals, right? He's a decent person, and what he prioritizes is justice. Now, imagine if Superman didn't have that virtue. If he had those powers, he'd rob every bank. You see what I'm saying? He'd rule humanity because nobody could contest him. But yet he's willing to live a humble life, treated like shit at his job, pushing papers, taking orders, and being humble about it. But he has the power to rule the entire world. But why does he not take advantage of that and exploit people? Because his father raised him with a set of morals, a set of values. And that to him is more important than any type of material gain or value or assets. Even how much he loves Lois Lane, he still doesn't bully the situation and say, yo, I'm Superman, bitch, you mine.
Right.
He doesn't even tell her that he's Superman. You see what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. And he could even be like, I want you, I want all these women. Right? But he's still a one-woman kind of guy. Well, why? Because he was raised by his mother and his father, and they were married all those years, and they lived a humble life in some rural area on some farm in Kansas, okay? And that's how they doing it. So this guy might have even meant well, right? But he didn't know how to express that. A lot of these dudes, they're not fundamentally bad guys. Just nobody showed them how to go about it. You understand what I'm trying to say? So leading isn't something you just know how to do. I just know how to do this. It don't work that way. You would have had to learn from somewhere. And you would have to make a bunch of mistakes. You had to make a bunch of mistakes and get pulled to the side and somebody tear you apart and critique you and tell you where you fucking up.
Right.
And letting other people down needs to be tragic to you. The worst thing you could do is lose the respect of, and the admiration of the people that you care about. So you kind of have to understand that these guys are struggling with it, just like the women are struggling. And we both struggling. But we've been taught to point the finger. We've been taught to say the men are the problem or the women are the problem. That's what we're taught to do, right? When in all actuality, the problem is that we're not working together. That's the problem. And that mentality that we don't need the other half is how we get there. So when women say shit like, oh, I don't need a man to raise my kids, you see, well, wait till they turn teenagers. Wait till the hormones start running through their system. You ain't gonna be able to control them, male or female. You're not gonna be able to control them. You know why? Because it's not a one-person job. Mm-hmm. That's why. Because a single father gonna struggle too. Imagine when his daughter start having her first period. You think a single father ain't gonna struggle? You understand what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. So it's always been a two-parent job. But somehow we got set in our head that we don't need that other half of the equation. We got to thinking that to be a human, I don't need the other gender. When humanity is both genders together. Mm-hmm. So how you gonna be human without the influence of the other gender? It don't make no sense. So for guys to be like, oh man, I don't need women. Really? What would life be like if you were rich and successful and there wasn't no women? What the fuck would you do?
Yeah, I would.
What would you do? You gonna go on vacation and do what? You gonna go on vacation and smoke cigars with niggas? Imagine a bunch of heterosexual dudes on a boat. How much fun would that be? Hey, let's go out on the yacht this weekend. Nah, just the fellas, man. We don't need them bitches. We don't need
drown
them.
themselves.
Jump off the boat.
They will all pretend to be mermaids.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say.
Themselves.
And I'm telling you right now, women don't want
Men
that
do
neither.
everything for women, but y'all be still be complaining too much. Why complain when y'all live for us?
Well, I don't know about dudes that be complaining. I think that's a feminine trait, to be honest with you. Because complaining is only effective if someone else is going to come and fix those problems for you. So complaining can be very effective if a female knows how to encourage a guy to do what she wants him to do, right? If she's enough of a motivation, her complaints get shit done, right? So you can't say that women complaining is useless. It ain't useless. Most beautiful women got somebody they can call to get some shit fixed. Well, I got this problem. Boy, it's really stressing me. Oh, girl, hey, what you need? Hey, I'll take care of it for you. I got you. Yeah, right? So when guys complain, it's like, nigga, who you think gonna come and,
Save you.
right, who's gonna come and save you? That's what I'm trying to say. You's a dude, so you complaining as to what? What's supposed to happen, right? So when guys call me, because guys call me all the time on the console, and they say, man, let me tell you what happened, and my girl did that. Nigga, hold on, before we talk about her, let's talk about you. Time out, we'll get to that. Let's talk about you, right? Because if you're in the leadership position, how the hell did she get in front of you? You see what I'm trying to say? How did she get to where she was doing stuff to you? How did we get to where she was doing stuff and you're reacting to it? If you're the leader, how did that happen? So what type of tone are you setting in the relationship where she's doing stuff and you're reacting to it? You understand what I'm trying to say? So we be having that problem from right away. Okay, and it's like, oh, the dude just told me recently, yeah, man, so I find out my girl, 2 years, man, she's fucking this other dude, and then I was like, okay, well, wait, tell me, where's she at now? Oh, she went back to her mama house. Wait, how old is this chick? She's 36. Where was she living when you met her? At her mother's house. So hold on, you was dating a grown-ass woman that was living with her mother? Dude, you already failed. You already failed. This is a grown woman, and she's living with her mom. And then you're telling me that she was being lazy with you? Nigga. She was lazy before you met her. You met her lazy. You found her in a state of lazy. Right? So what I'm trying to say is you're acting like she did something different. She didn't do nothing different. All the behavior you described to me, you just told me she had those characteristics before you got with her. So that's a state of normality for her. So she didn't do nothing to you. She was being herself. And that's what you dated. That's what you brought into your home. And now you getting surprised. It's like when Chris Rock said, people talking about that tiger went crazy because he bit the guy. That tiger didn't go crazy, that tiger went tiger. That tiger went tiger. The tiger didn't go fucking crazy, dog. So when you saw the tiger juggling a fucking basketball on its nose, that's when the tiger was going crazy. Because that wasn't tiger behavior. So her living with you and acting as if she was gonna bring some value to your life and be faithful and loyal, that's when she was pretending. That's when she was doing something different. Okay, so how long do you think she was gonna keep that act up? So we have to be a little bit more responsible and realistic when we choose the other people that we bring into our world, that we bring into our space. Because if a motherfucker a punk and we go somewhere and we drinking and we get into a scuffle and then I can't find this nigga, I can't act surprised. I can't act like he tricked me. He ain't tricked me. He was a chump when I met him. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I'm not gonna be mad at him. I'm gonna be like, why the hell was I even chilling with that dude? Or I'm not gonna be upset at all because I didn't expect him to do anything. I didn't expect him to be there for me. So if you're expecting a woman to be faithful to you and she didn't show you any type of value or any type of characteristics that she's a good woman, you can't complain. And that's the same for the ladies. You can't complain when the dude wasn't valuable when you met him. If he didn't have no character when you met him, right? And I know what you're gonna say, oh, but they pretend to be away, and I understand, but that's why you vet.
I wasn't going to say that.
Okay.
I was going to agree with you and say,
well, that's why you vet. That's why you vet, girl.
People need to take their time more and find out who they're dealing with, who they're really dealing with.
Like, I'm gonna give a question to you because you're young. You're 23. You're the youngest one on the panel, right? So let me ask you a question. Yourself and the girls you know your age, right? When they meet guys and they hook up with guys, let's say they don't have a car or something like that. How do they usually get home? How do they usually get to the guy? How do they usually get home? How do they get to where they meet the guy for the date?
Well, majority of the time as well, if that guy wants to take me out, he's gonna have to try to help me out. Either the guy will go pick them up, or if not, she'll Uber.
You see what I'm saying? Now that right there, that flag is burgundy. That shit ain't red. That flag is burgundy. When I hear young girls say that shit, it always blows my mind. So you mean to tell me you went and met this dude for a date and you took an Uber? You Ubered to go meet him.
But I feel like that wouldn't be worth it. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Most of my friends, they would make the guy go pick them up. But like, let's say if he doesn't have a car or something, like worst comes to worst, then yeah, shoot, you go Uber over there.
Right.
You know, certain
But
situations.
I'm talking about when the guys do have a car.
Oh no, then
Right.
he should.
Right. And when the girl come over and they hook up and all like that, and then they say, all right, I'll see you another time, and then he called me an Uber. So the girls think because he paid for the Uber that what he did was what he was supposed to do. Oh, no. He did the right thing. He paid to see this pussy. He paid for me to come to him. No, it's not about the money.
Right.
That's where the women are jammed up nowadays.
Can I say something?
It's not about the money.
I feel like that's a bad way, cause like it's like as a woman, you know, I'm about to get into probably not ideal situation, but at least I'm gonna get something out of it. You know,
How you
it's
get
kinda
something out of it because he paid your Uber?
No, I'm saying it's twisted, right? That some women think like that. Right? The little 20 Uber is not worth whatever situation you was just in. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm trying to explain to you from why some women take that approach. Why do they do it? Because they're like, well, at least I got something out of it. Now, they think it's something where we know it's nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? But they feel like, okay, at least it's not zero. You get what I'm trying to say?
Okay, I'm gonna say it to you like this.
It's messed up, but that's really how a lot of girls be thinking.
And that's nothing new.
Even the whole dinner thing. Well, at least you know what I'm trying to say?
But hold on.
So they're afraid
That's
the guy don't
not
hit
new,
me
though.
back up. If he ghosts me, at least there was,
Right.
which is bad.
Okay.
But what it is.
But what you're doing right there is you're grasping at straws. Because what
Exactly.
happened was you wasn't supposed to be with that nigga in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay? Because if I tell you to open up this circuit board and you open it up and you look at it, I say, what you see? You're gonna be like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, because you're not familiar with that. You're not an electrician, right? Yeah. If I open up the hood of the car and I say, get under there, what you see, girl?
You gonna be confused?
You're gonna be like,
Unless you into that.
right? You're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Like, you do it first.
Right? Okay, so let me tell you something. When that father ain't in the house, and that dude wanna see this girl, he wanna get to know her, quote unquote, right? When she looking at him, guess what? She don't know what she looking at. But when her daddy look at that nigga, he know exactly what he's looking at. So the father, he ain't worried about who paying for no cab or no Uber, whatever. He thinking to himself, you're gonna pick my daughter up, you're gonna knock on the door like a man, you're gonna shake my hand like a man, you're gonna answer my questions respectfully. I would like to know who my daughter is going out with. And I'm gonna look you dead in your eyes, and I'm gonna communicate to you that I will break you. I will break you. So now that you know that, have a good time. Have her home by 11:30, right? And when he comes back at 11:27 and a half, he's gonna get out. He's gonna walk around the car. He's gonna open up her car door. He's gonna walk her up them steps. She's gonna fumble for her keys, right? He's gonna give her a nice little hug and a kiss on the cheek, right? And then he's gonna wait for her to go in, right? And that's the nigga that deserved to have gone out with her. Not the nigga that paid for some Uber.
Do guys even open the car door anymore? Like
That's what I'm trying to tell you, because that's not something that women are looking for.
They do.
Women think that chivalry being gone is like, oh, guys aren't being chivalrous anymore for us. Chivalry was never for women. That's a code designed by knights amongst other knights. So that's a code of conduct that men came up with to interact with other men. The way women experienced it was niggas open up doors and all this other kind of stuff. But chivalry go way further than that. That's a man-to-man thing. All y'all getting is how you treat a lady. That's how y'all getting. That's what y'all getting. How a gentleman treats a lady. But a gentleman is a gentleman. He don't just become a gentleman when a woman walks towards a door. Right. That's not how that worked. So when he's doing that, he ain't doing that for you. He's doing that because that's who he is. When he helped that old lady across the street and carrying her bag of apples, he ain't trying to smash. He don't want her IG. But he saw an old lady carrying a bag, and he ain't the type of dude that's gonna watch a woman struggle with something heavy.
Right, because that's something instilled in him.
Right. And if he learned it, he might have learned it from his mother like she told him about it, but he ain't learned it from his mother like seen his mother do it. All she did was transmit a message that she learned from men. You say please, you say thank you. Oh, there goes a lady, go get the door for her. But that standard wasn't created or set by her. That standard was created by men. But those men are too busy at work. So they rely on women to keep their eyes on the children and make sure the children are upholding the standards that us men have created. So the moment you take men out of the equation, guess what? All that shit goes out the window. And when we don't stand for nothing, we fall for anything. Which is why we're so damn confused as a society. We fall for every little stupid thing. Everybody right now is saying, damn, Ukraine is fucking up the gas prices. You mean the 2% of oil that comes from Ukraine? Sorry, from Russia? You mean the 2% of oil that comes from Russia, that's what's fucking up our gas prices? You believe that. You know why you believe that? Because there ain't no men standing for something. So you're falling for anything. They done told you anything and you bought it. Right? Because there ain't those men in the house anymore that are old men, they OGs, they laid back, they're smoking their cigars, and they're talking amongst each other. You heard what Trump said? Well, listen, let me tell you something about the Democratic Party. And the little boys are around and they overhear that. And that's how they learn. They start understanding, okay, so this is how economics works, this is how politics works. They need to be around those conversations as young boys. And then when they get older, now they know, I ain't falling for this dumb shit. No, my grandfather told me back in 1947 that the Democratic Party pulled the same bullshit. I ain't falling for it. But now we got young guys that don't know shit about politics. Why don't they know anything about these things? Why can't they fix a flat tire? Why can't they build a cabinet? Because they didn't come up around men. So now you got the women complaining about these men ain't men. But if we ask the women, okay, so what we need to do, how we fix it? You wouldn't even be able to know how to communicate it to us.
I would tell them go find an old grandpa.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, you wouldn't even know how to articulate what's missing. You'd be like, I don't know how to say it. It's just, you ain't a real man. That's why it kills me when women say, if you were a real man, you would, oh, you about to tell me about it? How many times you stand to pee? Go ahead and tell me about it. Tell me about it from experience. She can't. All she can tell you or all she can express is her feeling of lack of. She can't tell you what a real man is, but she can tell you what a real man isn't. Or she can tell you that a real man is missing. That she can tell you. Like, something missing. The nigga ain't here. I don't know what he's supposed to do, how he's supposed to do it, or what he's supposed to say, but I know it's not here. I don't know how to fix my car. I don't know what the carburetor is. I don't know what the this and the, I don't know, but I know that the shit don't start. I know the shit acting up. It's making a weird sound. It's doing a jolting thing. I don't know why. But a real man or a real mechanic would know, hold on, give me some, start the engine real quick, let me listen to something. Okay, do this right here, let me see something. Okay, this is what you need. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So when a real man come into the equation, he could look at these young boys and say, okay, I see what's missing. I see what's missing.
So there needs to be more like men coaches to other mentors.
No. Fuck
or like
hold
a man academy or something.
Hold on, fuck a coach.
That they gotta have a man card when they come out.
Fuck a coach. Fuck a coach. That's not what we need. What we need is mentors. That's what we need. We need fathers, uncles, mentors, coaches. When I say coach, I'm talking about dating coaches. I'm talking about
life coach.
I'm not talking about no life coach.
You mean like
I'm talking about football coaches.
Coach, basketball coach.
Yeah, basketball, yeah.
I feel like it's not enough of that. It's not enough men, real men that's taking the time out to instill those values and those morals into little boys.
Right.
Because so the problem is a lot of the coaches are not taking the time to instill these morals and values into these young boys. Like, for instance, they're more worried about the game or the wins, or a lot of time coaches, they're scouting out young boys but they're not taking the time to do that, especially when they need it and they know they need it. So I think a lot of times, like when you say coaches, a lot of male role models figures like their mind is somewhere else other than instilling those morals and values in these young boys.
Right. I mean, well, coaching is definitely a job where the money should not be the priority. You know, you should be wanting to, basically mentor these young boys, a love of the sport, whatever sport that might be, as well as, the youth. So the reason why mentors are so valuable is because it's not just somebody that knows better than you and has more experience. It's someone that takes a personal interest in this individual and this young person that's gonna super exceed far beyond the court or the field or whatever the case may be. This is gonna spill over into real life. He's having girlfriend issues or something, he can go to his coach. He's having academic issues, he can go to his coach. He has family issues, he can go to his coach. And also, it's not just about learning to play that particular sport, or it's not just about winning. For boys, the value in sports and having a coach, having a captain of the team, having other team members, players on the team, is the camaraderie and learning how to work together. Mm-hmm. So boys play together, and then men work together. Mm-hmm. So how do you learn how to work with other men? You first learn how to play with other boys, when you're a kid. And you look at animals do the same exact shit. When animals are small, any animal that's a hunter, when they're small, they're playing with their siblings, they're rolling around, they're tackling each other. And as they get older, that play becomes hunting.
Right.
So if they didn't have those siblings to sharpen those skills, they would be terrible hunters. They would starve to death and die. Period. Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at the animals we have in captivity, go put that motherfucker back in the wild and see what's going to happen.
Oh, they won't be able to die.
They're going to die. Mm-hmm. They're going to starve to death and die. They're going to be eating leaves. They're going to have no idea how to catch game. And right now, we're a people that's domesticated. That's what they've done to us. They've domesticated us. They've taken away all those little trials and tribulations in childhood that turn us into adequate adults. They've broken down the family structure, so the values are gone. So we don't have the values in the home with our family, and then we don't have the social skills, with our peers. So it's not a mystery why we're not good at anything, is what I'm trying to say. All right? Mm-hmm. Go figure. So when you talk about the black community and all the issues that we have in the black community, everybody over here pointing all type of damn fingers. It's white people, white supremacy, it's the men, it says all these fingers. But really what it is that we've been taken away from a fundamental system of doing things. So if you don't have these skills being practiced in the community, why would black men know how to lead? Mm-hmm. Let's be real. Why would they know how to lead? If they didn't have men in the house, why would they become good men if they didn't have anybody when they were boys? And if they didn't have anybody showing them how to play together and interact with each other, why would they grow up and build together?
There's no example.
That's what I'm trying to say. And there's no blueprint.
No blueprint, right.
So it's just like, oh, well, black men don't build a community. Black men don't lead. Black men don't this. Black men don't that. What you mean is black boys. Stop saying black men. Because once you say black men, it's too late. Mm-hmm. If they're adults, it's too late. So we need to get back to the kids, because if we teach these kids how to play, they're going to learn how to work and build, and then they can go ahead and build something for the next generation of kids and for our women. So you got black men that will kill each other, but they're not willing to go that hard at building. So that means the motivation is there, the risk taking is there, right?
Right.
But it's not being put in the right place. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between a detective or somebody that's going to go undercover and bust drug dealers and take down, the cartel? What's the difference between that man and a man that's going to be part of the cartel? Mm-hmm. What's the difference? The difference is the upbringing.
Right.
But when he's part of the cartel, it's toxic masculinity. But when he's working in a department, oh, now he's a hero. But it's the same skills. He's willing to take a risk. He's willing to get shot. He's willing to shoot other men. What's happening? So the man is still capable of all these things. But if the guidance isn't there, and that development isn't there at a young age, the motherfucker is likely to go corrupt. That's what's gonna happen. So we're raising simps and we're raising these toxic dudes. And then women are acting like these two guys are different. These guys aren't that. The cause is the same, is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. It's just that they chose a different path. There's some dudes that's like, I didn't have my father growing up, so I'm gonna try to be the best possible father that I can be, because of how much it was a loss for me. And then there's guys that's like, I didn't have a father, so this little nigga don't need a father. Like, why I need to take care of my kids? Nobody took care of me.
And I look at me now.
Right. So it's what they chose to do with that, with those circumstances. Lauren, you got something before you close out, because you were saying that you don't have any faith in your generation. You gave up, throw a towel in.
Yeah, like our generation, like my generation, I feel like I said, going back to just people being genuine and the respect, I feel like that is very lost. Nowadays, I feel like a lot of people look at other people as objects, as things. Like she was referring to earlier, as like what we could benefit from that person. Well, at least, you know, he paid for the dinner, or at least, you know, a guy in the instance, or at least like I fucked or something, you know. And I feel like that's like the really sad part about it. It's like everybody's looking out for like, what does that person have to give me in the sense, but it's like emotionally, mentally, and like anything positively is not there. Like there's no genuine compassion, you know.
We want to just feel special. Everybody just wants to feel special.
Not special, but I feel like there's something more real, and like, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. That other person is making you feel special, because he could have bought anybody dinner. Let's be for real. He could have bought anybody dinner.
But just like I could buy my friend dinner, take my friend out to eat, and, you know, go to lunch with her or something. Like I feel like it's the same way. Like I feel like that fundamental of like, you know.
But that's different though. You know why that's different? Because you know that that's your friend though, and your friend knows that you're doing it because you're friends. You get what I mean? Like your friend's not trying to beat. Your friend's not trying to smash.
Right.
So with the guy, it's a little tricky because the women are interpreting the spending as effort, as he really wants me. He really wants to be with me. He really wants to spend time with me. And it's like, nah, you can just be his Thursday 8 p.m. That's it. He can just be looking at his book like, what I got going on Thursday evening, Thursday night. Let me see if this chick is, she bullshit. All right, let me text this other girl. Let me text this. It doesn't really matter. They're interchangeable. They're replaceable. But is he willing to roll out the red carpet? Is he willing to go, you know, to Publix or Whole Foods or whatever and go shopping? And then, you know, is he willing to turn on the grill and make something for you? You know, like my uncle taught me. Right, that's what I'm trying to say. That's the effort. When you see that, you say, wow, okay, he put that effort in. He tried to do all these little extra things. He paid attention to detail. He knew what wine I like. He knew this. He knew that. It's like, how did he know? Oh, he DM'd my girl on Instagram and told her, don't tell her that I'm asking you. But you know, what's her favorite? This, and that. What kind of dessert does she like? That's a guy communicating properly. But how did he learn that? Because the guys are doing the same thing. They're like, yo, this girl's worth flying out. This girl's worth doing this. She's worth spending that. It's like, that's not really effort, my nigga. That's just you spending money. But his intention is, I really like this one, so it's worth it to me in that amount of money. Why does he not know how to communicate that to her in other ways other than money? And the women, they only know how to communicate with sex. It's like, I'll do this for him, I'll do that nasty thing for him, and this nasty thing for him. It's like, yeah, but what about other stuff? You know, what about other stuff like scratching his back, or, you know what I'm saying? There's other things that women can do where you say, like, I know my girl care about me, because when she make the sandwiches, she cut the edges off too. You see what I'm saying? It's the little shit like that where you know, because it's like, anybody can starfish it. Anybody can lay in the bed and be like, I'm gonna let him do this stuff that I don't really like, but I'm gonna let him do it to me because I like him. That's the only way that you can communicate that you like this guy more than other guys. You see what I'm trying to say? Right. Because she's not gonna do that for every guy. So he's special in a way, but the way she's communicating it, the currency that she's using, right? It's not. I don't know what's this. It's just not adequate. It's not the right one, and it's because she doesn't know any better. And why does she not know any better? Because her mom didn't show her, this is how I treat your father, and your father's special because that's who I decided to build a family and a legacy with, right? So yeah, we got to learn the language basically. Like, you know, you were saying that your daughter speaks Creole.
Yes, she does.
Right, she speaks the language. But if she didn't speak the language, she'd be trying to communicate another way.
But learning love languages are important as well too.
Right. Very important for the guys and the girls. And I'm telling you, if a guy is like, I'll give you an example of a love language for a guy. If when you're doing something, like if your man comes to your job and he just comes upstairs and he says, hey, listen, I'm at your job. I'm like, why are you here? Just give me your car keys. What you need my car keys for? Listen, woman, I don't gotta explain myself. Give me your damn car keys, get back to work. And he leaves his car there and he takes your car and goes and details it. put some flowers in the passenger seat, parks your car back, runs your keys back upstairs to you, kisses you on the cheek and say, I'll see you later. You have no idea what the hell he did with your car. When you get off of work, your car is clean, it's detailed, you got some flowers in there, he left a little note in there and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a man trying to say, I like you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I like you. So he might not be all lovey-dovey and all affectionate and all like that, but he's willing to get his hands dirty. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's how a man says that.
It's acts of service.
Right, exactly. You're special to me. You mean something to me. All right? So we squared away? We know what to look for now? We know what to look for now?
Got a better insight of things, yes.
Okay, all right, yeah. And sometimes, man, some of these guys, they don't know any better, and you just got to point them in the right direction. Like, nigga, why don't you go talk to somebody older? And, you know, women know how to phrase these things to guys. You don't say, like, hey, why you don't get some advice from an older guy? You're not going to say it like that. You're going to be like, hey, so how's your uncle? Who's your favorite uncle? I thought so-and-so was your favorite uncle. Like, why you ask me that? No, I was just wondering, like, which uncle do you really like? What do you like about him? You see what I'm trying to say? Women have ways of kind of
nudging you.
Right, nudging you in the right way. And he said, because as a woman, you want to be looking out for your nigga. You know that's part of your job, right? Is to be the eyes behind, you know, the back of his head.
Your team, I need to make sure that
right.
You have to depend on you at the end of the day.
Right, but a lot of women nowadays, the way they try to tell men things is in a very masculine way. And he's not going to receive it well from you like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like an uncle or a coach or a drill sergeant can get in his face and yell in his face and spit going all in his thing, and he can, you know, that's all right. That is what it is. That's an authority figure. There is, you know, a hierarchy. He understands that. But when a woman does that, it's like, it just ain't working.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're supposed to be under me. You can't, like, how you gonna beef up? Right. How you gonna beef up?
Yeah.
But beef up to me. So he's not gonna receive it well.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you have to take a more subtle, feminine, passive approach. Sometimes women complain and then they don't get what they want and then they get frustrated. And they say, why don't he just know? Why don't he just? It's like, well, hold on, no. You do realize that he ain't even got to know if you flirt. If you bat your eyes and you change the tone of your voice and you flirt with him, he don't even care why. He just like, what you need me to do, baby? What you need me to do? Right? So being playful and being like that, you'll get far more results from a man than putting your hand in his face and saying, nigga, if you was a real man, you did it and you need to, because now he's gonna not do what you want him to do just as to say that you don't tell me what to do.
Right. That's a bit aggressive.
Right, because now he has a point to prove. He's like, no, you don't tell me what to do. Now I'm not gonna do none of that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So if the nigga coming home all hours of the night, like you were saying, dude be disappearing, you gotta have a different way to purge that. You got to be like, listen, you do realize that I care about you and I think about you. So when I don't hear from you, anything could have happened. Why would you put me through that? That's like torture to me. Now he's looking at it from a whole different perspective. Mm-hmm. But if you come at him like, yo, I called, why you didn't answer, and then it's like, now he feels like you're trying to control me. You're trying to tell me what to do. You don't trust me. I got to prove myself to you. I got to explain myself to you. What did you think I was? Right? Why you acting like I was with another bitch? And a lot of times that's how women come off. And that might even be a concern of yours, but that's, you know, that's coming from a place of insecurity though. Right. Because if he gave you a reason to believe that, you're with the wrong nigga. Mm-hmm. If he did that before, you see what I mean? You shouldn't be with him no way. So if he's not guilty and you feel that way, that's an insecurity. That's a you issue. That's not a him issue. But either way, they both could be avoided if you circumvent it and come from the other way like I'm telling you and be like, no, the issue is that I was worried about you. That was the issue. Things happen out there. It's dangerous out there. You see what I'm saying? So I need to know. At least shoot me a text or something. And then he'll be like, oh shit, you know what? That was really fucking inconsiderate. Damn, you're right. And he might not even say you're right. He might just stop doing it. Because sometimes men don't want to admit they're wrong. So he might just be like, all right, let me tighten up. Because I learned that from an older dude. I learned that from the #1 drug dealer on the block, the nigga that had the MVP. You see what I'm saying? And I came to him one time, I'm like, yo, Fly Tie, bro, what's good? And I see you with the little thing. He's like, yeah, man, you know how it is. I said, yeah, but yo, what if your shorty find out? He said, let me tell you something, little nigga. He said, before you step out and you do anything, you make sure you take care of home first. Don't ever have your woman wondering where you at. You see what I'm saying? Because he a real nigga. He in the streets, he getting it in. So if his girl don't hear from him, the first thing she ain't thinking is he's with another chick. She hopes he's with another chick, because then at least he's safe. What she's really worried about is that he's unconscious somewhere. He's dead. His heart ain't beating. That's what she's really worried. That would be terrifying, right? But that's what he told me. He said, you always take care of home first. And that don't necessarily have to correlate with cheating or doing some dirt. That just means in general, make sure you take care of home before you step out. Because if you take care of home before you step out, guess what? When you get back home, home is good. Because you left it good. It's the way you left it, right? But if you left home vulnerable, when you come back, you don't know what the fuck to expect, right? And that's what men want at the end of the day. They want to know what they're coming home to. They either want to know they're coming home to some type of stability and peace, or they want to know they're coming home to a pleasant surprise. That's what they want to know. Coming home to your woman and she missed you and she's ready for you, she's been prepping for you, that's a wonderful feeling. It gets even better when you come home to a woman and children. And they doing that whole, daddy, daddy, what y'all doing up? That's the best feeling a man could have in the whole world. And if that ain't the best feeling to you, then you got your priorities all fucked up. All right? All right, ladies, we're going to get out of here. I know people are hungry. People got to go to work. People got all kind of family responsibilities, and you know what I'm saying? But thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Right?
Thank you.
We appreciate the live audience behind me making all kind of noise and racketeering. We like that too. Everybody got some alcohol in them. Me included. But we're going to see y'all on the next one. Or you might see me on the next one. I might be in front of the camera for all y'all who missed my face. I don't know what the hell wrong with y'all missing a man face. But anyhow, we're out of here, man. Ladies, say goodnight. Wait, one at a time.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Peace.
Right.